I just want to talk about real quick one of the biggest struggles I think a lot of people have when it comes to making money online at the start. And it's the idea that they don't know where to start. And why don't they know where to start? They simply know they want to make money. They know for a fact that $5, $10, $15,000 a month is something that would not only probably replace their income, right, but completely change their lives, right? Have them living a lifestyle they've never lived before. But there's so many options out there. There are a million and one business models. There are a million and one people just like myself who are telling you what to do. And frankly, you don't know who to listen to. You don't know who's telling the truth. You don't know if it's going to work. Frankly, I mean, at the bottom of it, you don't know if it's possible and if you have what it takes, right? So if you don't know all these things, you've got all these question marks. Why on earth would you take action? Why would you start something? You wouldn't, right? So the kind of clarity I want to give you, right? And I'm going to tell you this objectively to be true because I've met people who have made money with every single business model you've probably heard of online. I've been in the space actively for close to 2 years now, especially 1 full year. I'm very, very actively. And I'm going to tell you right now, every single business model that you see online, it works. Every single one of them, right? The question is, do you work? Michael, what do you mean, do I work? I mean, do you work, right? The information is for free on YouTube. There's not a single course or a single mentorship that you will ever buy that will give you information that doesn't exist out there for free. It does, right? The real difficulty is understanding what to do in what order, right? So out of 100 steps that you may follow, which ones actually matter? And the next question is, how do I do them in the right order? Right? What do I do first? What do I do second? Right? The other factor that plays into this is what happens when I have a problem, or I've got a mistake, or I'm confused, or I've got a question. Who do I reach out to? Usually it's just Google or YouTube or Reddit or something else, ChatGPT, and it's not very fast or not very productive, and you lose momentum, and boom, you're at square one again. You're in the exact same spot trying to look for more business models because you're convinced that it's the business model, it's not you. It's not your laziness, it's not this or that, right? It's the problem is that, oh, it's just scam or it's not real. None of these businesses are scams, right? Only scams that exist are people who lie about what they do, right? But not about what's possible with the business. I'll tell you this much, every business model works. So if you're at square one, right, let's say you've got something a little bit going or you're looking for something to start. The best thing you can do is simply just make a list of 3 or 4 business models or skills that you really are interested in. Get clear on why you're interested in them, what benefits and detriments or kind of like pros and cons they may have, and pick one, right? And take that risk. Just be like, you know what, I'm focusing on one. And for me, that was sales. Before it was e-commerce and drop shipping. Then it was personal branding, and something I still do. I never really gave up on, right? But I stopped looking at it as much of a full-time business. And I started to look at what skill can take me the furthest. And it was sales. It was high ticket sales. And the reason why for me was simply because, look, I'm in full control over how much money I make, right? And it's a skill that's extremely transferable. It applies to just about everything in life. So look, if I decide in the future not to do sales anymore, I will use that skill forever, which is not necessarily true with day trading or e-commerce or things like that. Amazon FBA. Yeah, you learn good skills, but sales is something where like communication, conversations, relationships, right? Human psychology, influence. Like this is what you learn and you master. It's my job. It's how I make, 5 figures per month. Now, what I want you guys to do is get clear on that and then humble yourself and realize that just about everything that you've learned in life so far has been because you've learned from others. Swallow that pill. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but if you've learned any subject in school, it was written, the books that you've read that taught you this were written by people who have mastered it. If you have played any sport, you've had coaches, right? You've never been able to do it all by yourself. Come on, humble yourself. You've got a team, right? You've got teammates, you've got a coach or multiple coaches, right? If you look at anything that you learn nowadays, you go to YouTube and who's teaching you? It's not a nobody. It's not somebody that's on the same level as you in skill. It's someone who's above you. But you're always learning from others who are more experienced, whether it is a book or a video or it is an ebook or an audiobook or it doesn't matter what it is. It's always going to be someone who's more experienced. Why would business be any different? I speak with people all the time, and specifically what I sell, it's business opportunities, it's coaching, it's mentorships, and people have this really, really big hesitancy to go ahead and accept help. They're convinced they can do it all by themselves, but they can't. Nobody can. Swallow that pill. And once you swallow it, realize that investing money into coaching or mentorship is one of the best things you can ever do. I'm telling you right now, the reason why I've gone to the place where I'm at with sales is because I invested many thousands, right? Close to 10,000 Canadian dollars into coaching, right? And it made me take it so seriously, If I'd never done that, I would have never taken this seriously. I think I would have quit probably 1 month in, as I did with other things that I'd looked at. I had some skin in the game. I had something to lose, right? I took a risk. That made me take this so much more seriously. I had this resolve to make it work. And month 3, month 4, when I was not even making any sales, I was just getting started, finally got placed on a contract, I was still all in, right? Fast forward 5 months later, that's month 8, month 9, I'm doing sales, and I've been in sales period, and I'm still not making much money. I'm making close to $1,000 a month. That's just about the same, if not less, than how much I was making doing construction. It was less, objectively. I had to get a part-time job on the side. I was working at a restaurant. I was doing content downtown, shooting street interviews so I could, make enough money to pay my bills. But I had this resolve. I paid for this mentorship. I committed to it, and I realized, and I made the conscious decision, I will make this work. I'll go all the way until finally I've replaced my income many times over, and I've got a skill for life, right? So the one thing I want you guys to do is to pick a skill, decide to go all in, right? Create a schedule and be consistent with it, and decide for a fact you're going to commit to it. And the best way to commit to it truly is go ahead and invest into some kind of coaching or mentorship, right? I don't want to beat around the bush. Every single person I've met so far that is successful with any online business did that. They've had coaches, they've had mentors. There's no way around it. It's normal. One of my best friends right now who's getting into videography, he made some of the videos that I just posted recently. He just invested in coaching, right? People who are going to teach him how to run a videography business because they've done it. Who else are you going to learn from? You can do it by yourself through trial and error and reading books and going through the, tough toil and whatnot. You can do it. No one's stopping you. It'll just take you way longer, and time is your most precious resource, right? So if you truly value your time the way you should, right, I'm going to move here just because the sun is now better. If you truly, really do value your time, as I think you should, because it's our most precious resource, right? Resolve to go ahead and invest in some kind of coaching. I highly recommend, look, if any of you guys are serious about getting into high-ticket closing, which is what I do, it's the reason I speak the way I speak, it's the reason I'm able to meet the people I meet and work the way I do, just fill out my type form below. You don't need to go ahead and spend any money up front. You don't need to do anything like that. Simply, if you're interested, just DM me or leave a comment. I'll reach out to you. Instagram is the best place to reach me. Definitely follow my TikTok, right? I'm just plugging my stuff because I love helping people. I love answering questions, giving them direction, because that's the only reason I am where I'm at today. Other people have helped me, right? I'd reach out to them and I'd ask for help and I'd get it. So that's what I want to kind of leave you guys with. If you want to make a massive change in your life, decide that you're going to do that. All right, pick one thing and focus all in on it. Do not spread yourself thin. Try multiple businesses at once. The best thing you can focus on is a skill at the start before a business, by the way, in my opinion. Because a business is a collection of skills, a skill is one skill. All right, so unless you want to learn 5 skills at once, like e-commerce or Amazon FBA or these different businesses, go for it. It'll be much slower progress as opposed to focusing on one thing. And yeah, guys, definitely just, if you like this stuff, let me know down below. Like, subscribe, it helps out a lot. If you've watched this far, amazing. You may as well subscribe just because I make a lot more videos like this. And if you got any questions, ask. I'll happily answer. I'll make anything clear to you guys. And that's it. Peace. Fill out the type form below.